Hi, this is Rob with an update to DoomZ. Now on Alpha 12D, which is just a mid-alpha, but I'm just looking for some feedback. Basically the big move now is, the big change rather, is the move over to GZdoom, which should allow for dynamic lighting and 3D floors. So you can now see these lamps, you can go underneath them. I've changed some of the textures as well, so you can see like the road texture's been updated here. There's been a bit of a change to the frame rate, I think. I'm not sure if it's a move to GZdoom or if it's the more advanced levels that it is now, but I'd like to get some feedback to see how bad that is for people. It looks worse on this video than it is. So as you can see now, the store I've updated slightly to take use of these new features, so you can now go under this bit. You can still see some bits on the roof. That's where I've moved the sky up from how it was originally used to clip off the top of the building. This is an example. Obviously the textures are really bulked now, but this is an example of a 3D house which I built. So you can have a look at going inside, you can have a look at going up upstairs as well, and you can see there's windows, so you can have a good snipe out of those windows at people going by. Needs a lot of textures doing. I'd like to make some paintings for the walls as well, but I might do them in voxels. So having a look at one of the buildings which I spent the longest on, this was the old school over here, so you could go inside it, but it was limited. You could go inside the rooms, but as soon as you wanted to go upstairs, I'd have had to do that by a teleporter. Whereas now, this is a new one that I've been working on, so this resembles the actual school in DayZ a bit more there. So you can have a look at going upstairs and also go into the end rooms. They've not got windows yet, but that's pretty trivial to add. You can also go on the roof. You can notice here there's a darkness to some of the areas. That's just because I haven't got that updated yet. That doesn't take long. And also some ladders to be able to get up to the top. Good example of a building clipping it off, which is the old way of doing it, is there. As you can see, this is like cutting off the view of the buildings behind, but hopefully all of the buildings can now be updated to take use of this 3D floor, so I've been working through them gradually. I'd like to show a dynamic light as well, so if we have a look at chopping down one of the trees over here, then should be able to show this. So you can still cook on the fires, but now actually glows in the dark. I'd quite like to get petrol, like gasoline cans, and make it so that you can have some generators in certain spots which have lamps pointing down, so you can last through the night if you've managed to gather some, or you can have a look at trying to use that for powering a vehicle later on if I introduce that. Just going to restart it so that the so it goes back to day, and I'll have a look at showing some of the other new areas. Now off in the distance over there you can see one of the hangars is now the curved one, so I just need to update that for the other two, but I think that's looking a lot better. The advantage in terms of things like the barns is that you'll no longer have to teleport through to another area, but you can just actually walk straight inside, which means before the zombie pathfinding was a bit wonky, because if you teleported to like an inside that was elsewhere on the map, the zombies would follow you to where the new teleport location would be. So looking at the petrol station, you can see I've now got a sign coming. This has been allowed due to the move to GZdoom, and also a small like little office for the petrol station with one of Berkshaw's tills in there. Again, as you can see, the textures is traditional Rob texturing. I'll have a look at showing the hangar, but also this is a deer stand, or my version of it, so you can go up in it. I need to make a few of these around the location, put some gun spawns in them, but I haven't got around to that yet. And having a look now, one of the other advantages is GZdoom allows for swimmable areas, so we can now swim in the lake. Now when it rains you get wet, so when it rains I'd like to make it so that sorry, when you go in the lake I'd like to make it so that you get soaking straight from that, so you have to then dry out if you chose to do that. Also currently if you light a fire and you drop it in the lake, it just happily burns at the bottom of the lake there, so that's something which I need to sort out as well. I'd like to make a little bunker area with sort of netting over it, and that's I think the sort of areas that I'd be looking to have those dynamic lights with the gasoline, as I mentioned. I've had a look at updating one of the tents now. It took a while to do, so I've not replicated it for the others, and I'm not entirely sure that I'm happy with the way that the tents come down over there. Like it doesn't look quite right, but I just need to re-angle that. But you can enter the tents now. It means that you don't need to teleport through to a new location. So I'll have a look at updating them all. I've also updated the barracks over there, so there's a couple of different ones. The two middle ones here are the original ones with the sky coming down, so you'll see that'll cut off the top of, yep, it's cutting off that. But there's one over here with a sloped roof, and another one over here that's not got a sloped roof, just a flat roof on there. So I need to decide which way to go with that. Something else which I've been working on is a menu system. So when you're playing multiplayer, unless you are messaging privately, then there's no way of talking to someone who's just near you. You can send a message to everyone, but that's not great if you're looking to, I don't know, ambush someone. So I've been working on this now. This is the messaging system, so you can send a message through it. So I put a few in there already. I'm just going to heal that. You just get somewhere a bit not quite safer. Okay. So at the moment it just messages everyone, so there's not real advantage for this. But the idea is that I'm going to make it so that you can message people who are just nearby, which I've started work on, but I haven't got that finished yet. Also going to make it so that you can eat and drink from here and reload weapons, because people are having a problem finding the weapon when they're scrolling through. And something else that I've been working on is making a tent. Now actually I think I'll just restart it so that so it's a bit lighter, but you can now drop a tent. It's just a terrible little voxel that I made, but once that's updated you'll then be able to use the tent to store things in. At the moment I'm just planning to have one tent around. That's pretty much it for the changes that I've made there, but I'd just like to get some feedback at this point. As I say, I can see a little performance drop myself. Now it's not a problem for me, but I'd like to get other people's feedback. If it seems that that's going to be a problem, I can always just move back to GZdoom, but then we lose the dynamic lights and the 3D buildings. So if you nab a download, it'll be on the website at doomz.co.uk or robertpress.com/doomz. I'll put a standalone one included with GZdoom so that you can just run it straight. That I've reserved for just doing for the main alphas at the moment, well prior to this, but I'd just like some feedback on the changes here. Thanks.